welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing today? We are here for Survivor Season 48, Episode 4, to watch it live and react to what goes down. Thank you for the subscribers here. Mindy for the 67th month. Kalita with 74. Rob with 19 in a row. McKenna with 33. Looney with 20 in a row. BL Tap with 53. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Let me see if I can figure this out over on. If I go here. Aha! I figured out how to change thumbnails. Now the question is, do I have a thumbnail? And I'm pretty sure the answer is currently no, but this is good information for the future. I am live on YouTube and Twitch. We'll be watching tonight's episode of Survivor. That's pretty much what we got today. Coffee, thank you for the 22nd. Alex with 20, thank you. We dropped our coverage of episode 2 of Jetlag the Game, season 13, today. If you want to check that out. I think I made a claim that I thought it might have been the best episode of Jetlag. You hear us talk about that. Episode 3 drops today as well. I have not watched it yet, but I'm excited to. And then Wheel of Time will be dropping episode 4 tomorrow, and we'll be recording about it. I've heard very good things about episode 4 of Wheel of Time. So really expecting a lot of good things from television. DD Wilder, thank you for the 59th in a row. Dr. Dante with 41, thank you so much. And Mel with 16. Appreciate it. Got your friend into Survivor doing 46. This is his first swap. Oh boy. That's fun. Just finished the 3rd episode of Wheel of Time. Yeah, it does. Dropping 3 episodes at once when each episode is like over an hour is quite a daunting amount of episode. Especially when you're covering it. Dreamweaver, thank you for gifting a sub. On the other hand, though, I do feel like you do want to just like keep watching. I feel you finish an episode, you're like, oh, I want to watch more episodes. Dreamweaver, thank you for the 9th month. We also we have a BB retrospective tomorrow. Going to be talking about season 12 of Big Brother as we continue through the years. And a little surprise going on for tomorrow night for season 12. So stay tuned for that. The Pit tomorrow as well, yeah, and Severance finale. A lot happens on Thursdays. I am caught up with Dondi. But there's one more episode. Watched Adolescence, nice. I've learned more about Adolescence since we recorded. They fully shot each episode in one single take. They tried multiple times. It wasn't like it was a one and done, but like there are no cuts. I'm not properly in focus here, I feel. still feel like I'm not in focus. That's fine. Um, yeah. Adolescence is the single take show. So there's 4 episodes. Each episode is a single take, no cuts. The entire thing filmed in real time, which is wild. Like there are plenty of single take, plenty of oneers in film and television history. Very few of them don't have hidden cuts. Um, and then on top of that, uh, it like really rests on like the acting of like child actors who manage to crush, which is wild. Is there a narrative purpose for every episode being one shot? Um, I wouldn't say it like connects to the narrative in any particular way. More so that like it's just a different way of telling the story that I feel is honestly more effective. Maybe in part because it's unique, but it really like puts you in the situation a lot more. I feel. All right, I'm going to make sure I've got the episode up. Makes you feel like you're in the room. Yeah. Thank you for the 33rd, by the way. Danny, thank you for the 38th. Show's about a kid that gets accused of murdering a fellow classmate. I don't think it's like for everyone, but I do think it's I think that everyone will have a reaction to it and be intrigued by it and be grabbed by it. All right. Episode's going to start very soon. I'm going to run a prediction. Commercial by 5:13. There we go. Do we know what the swapped tribes are? Could we run a prediction about that? Is that possible? I'm trying to get ahead of this. Like in the preview, did it show like what tribe some people are on? Everyone? Okay. All right. Episode started. Let me actually also give you, for those watching along after the fact, perhaps.
Come over. I love you. Hidden immunity idol on Survivor feels.
There we go. That is where I am. Okay, so we know what the swap tribes are. Okay, so what else could we predict in the future here? Laura, thank you for the 7th. I kind of missed that in the first watch through because I was so blown away by what was happening. That like Mary gets the safe from the shot in the dark, but it's just 4 of them. And so it's just her alone being like, let's go. And everyone else is just like, what has been the consensus? So, because I wasn't really looking. How did people feel about what happened at Tribal? Are people like pissed, or are they like, wow, that was entertaining? We got to listen to Cedric's explanation of this because. What is the way? Allie, thank you for the 39th. What are they doing? They're leaving a message for Mary to let her know that they're searching for the idol? Yup. Yup. It's the classic, like, person that's been kidnapped being like, I promise I totally won't turn you in. And it's like, okay, I guess I'll release you. I'm saving you. But it's like, you kidnapped me in the first place. Of course I'm turning you in. Oh. What did I tell you guys last week? Enemies to lovers. Okay, this is like a key moment here because I think that Mary has a potential winner at it. So the question is this the culmination of her edit? Or is this the beginning? Just so wild. Just so wild that he decided to take out Justin after all of that. I think Mary needed a good edit to make fans happy with the last tribal, not necessarily predictive. Yeah, that's sort of what I mean. I feel like Mary's good edit makes sense leading into what happened last week. and potentially even some of the fallout. So like for me, it's like, is she going to continue to get such a good edit post all of that stuff, or was the good edit for that stuff? If that makes sense. Yeah, I always think about Danny Donato, Danny Briones, um, in All Stars 2. Always encouraging her various allies to like get along and work together. And so they did and cut her out. Now, on the other hand, if you can't get your allies to work together at all and they take each other out, then you don't have as many allies. There's a balance. Oh, they have no idea. They have no idea. I think Mary's in the best position for a swap because she can say, honestly, I played my shot in the dark and hit. I was out. Is he looking for expect the unexpected? All right, all right. I don't know the tribes. What are the tribes? Here we go. Oh, okay. Commercial. That is yes, commercial by 513. Next prediction. Are we doing like a reward challenge? Is that maybe it? Are we doing a reward challenge? Yes, no. We have a new vote. Hold on. Hold on. Survivor 50 vote. Okay, okay. Looking at the votes. All right. Final four challenge. Option A. Oh boy, this is pretty visual. Hold on, let me here we go. Option A. This looks like, what even is this actually? Oh, it's like you'd have to do a puzzle while rolling the balls. Option B. This is more obstacle coursey. Go through a net. Looks like you climb a thing and then put a puzzle together at the end. Looks kind of boring. Option C. Your classic straight up Simotion kind of deal. I don't honestly. I don't really care. I don't. I don't really care. I feel like option A is at least the most unique one. I'd probably go with that one. But I think we are back. Yeah, we're back. All right. We'll continue looking at options after the next break. Dropping the buffs. All right, here we go. We're looking for majority for purple and orange on both tribes where my draft team are. Or I guess it would have to be all three. That's going to be tough if they split separately 1, 2, 3. Say, chill. Ooh. This is not something I would want to say out loud. I think it can work though for say. Well, what happens if Star never finds the idol on at her camp? All right, here we go. Green, green. Thomas going green. Kyle. Oh, they're separated. Charity with. There's too many people to look at. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's an even split on Charity's tribe. Even split on that tribe too. Jeez. Bianca doesn't have a vote. I forgot about that. Oh, the California girls. Let's go. Oh, of course. They've been building up the relationship with Star and what's her name? Ellie? Evie? Not Evie. Ava. Sorry. Okay. California Girls Together. Like it. Uh, oh, he's talking about the vote. This is a very nauseating handheld. All right. So Charity and Star on the same tribe on opposite ends. They both have two people from their tribe with one person in the middle, which I think is Mary. So theoretically, Mary is the swing there. Um, However, Star and Ava, they've built up that they don't get along. So to me, that implies that probably edit wise, Star is again in trouble because I feel like Ava's too much of a main character to go. Um, oh, she's on the same beach though. That's um. I guess edit. I mean, edit wise, it still looks like Star or Charity that are the most in danger there. Mary, Ava, and Muscle Dude all have big edits. So that's not great. That's true that they Eva versus Ava. I don't know why I'm getting the name so wrong. um David is the guy. All right, let's pull up the voting again. Okay. Advantages. More gameplay. Advantages are an exciting. Oh, hold on. I need to do the prediction. There was not a reward challenge. Next prediction. Does Star mention her idol? Yes, no. All right. Advantages are an exciting way to give players the power to influence the game. How much power do you want advantages to have in Survivor 50? I'm talking, she mentions the idol anywhere. In confessional to another person, I just want an idol mention from her, like, hey, I gotta get my idol. All right, minimal power. I want advantages to be rare and limited in power, forcing the players to rely primarily on their strategic, social, and physical abilities. Strategic power. I want advantages that are just powerful enough to create some uncertainty and risk, adding a layer of complexity for the players to deal with, or dynamic power. I want to amplify the impact and fun of advantages so they offer enough power to shake up the game so that even players on the bottom have a fighting chance. I feel like a good portion of the like online fan base will want this to be minimal, but like for me, this actually depends because in a 3-tribe format, I think that you want minimal advantages. You want minimal power. The advantages are too powerful in a 3-tribe format. otherwise. In a 2-tribe format, I might be willing to go a little more like strategic power. Introducing a little more uncertainty in those scenarios, I think, can be more beneficial. But I'm kind of assuming they're going 3 tribes, because that's what they've done like forever, basically. All right, we're back. We're back. Mary, you can't say you didn't hit the lotto when you hit the shot in the dark. Come on. What is this music for Eva? So what are you telling? You don't be telling people about your allies. Don't tell him who your closest allies are. Okay, this is a very messy tribe. I'm offering her up on a silver platter. All of us have been planning to get rid of her. That's not giving them a lot of incentive to do so. And you're telling her that she has a potential idol. Oh boy. Why is Chrissy saying I have? Like it's her tribe. It's just a funny way to phrase it. Man, they couldn't have. Like these tribes just are chock full of the people that didn't get along. It is wild. She's on a tribe of 6. And she's solo on a swapped tribe. Well, this is the thing. It's actually not necessarily amazing for her that there's a crack. Well, given that she doesn't have a vote, it actually is. What she could do with this? No, this is still an issue. Because she doesn't have a vote. It's none of the people from this tribe are at their camp. Sonic, thank you for the 57th. Thomas is getting a lot of content here. Not that he hasn't gotten a lot before, but oh jeez. Camilla has an extra vote. He has an idol. Thomas has a steal a vote. The extra vote doesn't matter. It ties at best. It's all about the idol. What they could do is steal a vote in the hopes of being able to split the vote. But then it's still 4-2. No, this the extra vote just doesn't matter. I don't like Shaheen falling for it for his edit. This is the kind of fact checking you expect to see on Survivor all the time, and for some reason, very rarely happens. But they did set up a Thomas Shaheen split before when Shaheen was like, oh, I wouldn't have gone that far with the star advantage. Oh, Thomas. Thomas, no. Thomas, no. No, 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 no. That is not how you do that. if they're asking if you lied, you cannot double down. You have to say, you got me. I actually did get it. What do you want me to do? I didn't tell anyone. You're not supposed to tell anyone. I'm sorry. But look, it's actually good for us. I have a steal a vote. It's gonna help us in this vote. Because what are you saving the steal a vote for? Like against your steal a vote only works when you have allies. Doubling down. I don't, because here's the thing. If I and I, it's not like I'm there, you know. But like if I have an ally and they lie to me about an advantage they found, an idol, an advantage, whatever. It's like, and we never even went to tribal. Like it was never even a reason to not lie to me, really. And then I find out I'm like, hey, you're not allowed to walk away from challenge from the advantage thing. And they say, yeah, you're right. I have an advantage. I don't. I mean, I'm filing it away, but it is not nearly enough for me to like damage that relation. That's fine. If I go to them and now I'm reasonably certain that they're lying to me, that they've lied, and I go, hey, you're not allowed to walk away from the advantage thing, and they go, no, she wasn't there. I did walk away. That's she's lying. Now I can't trust that person. I can't trust that. I can't ever trust that person. Because they're lying to my face. I'm giving them an opportunity to not lie to my face, and they're continuing to lie to me. And it's just like, ooh, like there's a reason you're not telling me this. And that reason is that we clearly can't work together. I don't like that. If you get caught, you got to admit it. Anyway, did Star mention her idol? No. All right, next up. Ooh, what should the prediction be? How about challenge? I'm late on this too. Is there a challenge? I can't think of anything right now. 30-second prediction, running it. All right, so I think ultimately you go minimal power here. Because it just gives them the least amount of opportunity to screw up. That's the conclusion. The episode's back. This is the benefit of swaps. Like the new connections that get made.
My experience. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I truthfully want to work with Bianca because
Okay. Okay. We're back. My whole sound situation freaked out. This is it's the right mindset from Chrissy. But I think the first thing you want to do is establish a majority. Well, I guess you still don't really establish a majority, do you? No, it's not bad. She's also right that like if then she ends up having an extra vote and you don't vote her out, then you would be in trouble the next vote potentially. Wait, she already broke up with him? I thought he was still with her. Is this like the David's Tinder profile segment of the episode? This is the second time they've done this with charity. Oh, I don't love this edit for charity. I don't love it. Can I just say, this is wrong. This is a reality show. Charity's confessionals should be positive because she's talking about playing the game. And somebody was just like, I'm just a dude. Oh my God. Both people from the majority tribes are trying to. Everybody's trying to take out their own tribe members. All right, there was no challenge. All right, next prediction. Running it back. Do we have a challenge this time? All right, so if I want to continue my streak here, we're just gonna need the tribe that doesn't have any draft team on it to lose. That's what we need. Okay. Back to the votes. Vote number 3. To switch or not to switch? You mean swap? I want the tribes to switch. I want to force new alliances and test old ones, challenging players to prove they can survive in any scenario. I do not want the tribes to switch. I want alliances to grow naturally, without disruption. Strong bonds should be built and rewarded, not broken. Why is it called a switch? Do they ever call it a switch? It just feels so strange in my mouth. Yes to switch. That one's pretty simple, I think. Especially on a, like, with an all-star cast. Like, imagine a scenario where, and I definitely get that. Like, you know, it could screw over a person you like for sure. However, kind of the point of these like all-star seasons is that you want to see these different people interact. You know, like I want to see this person play with this other person. And if they're siloed on different tribes for half the season, then it's like, well, now I never even got to see them play together. And that will still happen occasionally. But with a swap, you get more intermingling, more relationships, more interaction. And I think that's best, especially on returning seasons. But even on a season like this, as I was just saying, like you get that Cedric and Mitch interaction that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Very fair. Heroes versus Villains did not have a swap. But who knows? Maybe it would have been even better if it had. Yeah, exactly right. They start filming 50 yet? No. Limp, thank you for the 41st. Moral, thank you for the 32nd in a row. Okay, so right now, okay, let's just think about in each scenario who's gonna be leaving. In the first tribe, you have Star and Charity both looking like they could be in danger. I could see that tribe losing because they've already set up that it could be one or the other. In tribe number 2, you have this notion of Bianca or Cedric. I feel like it's not Bianca's time, but I could be wrong. It feels like it could be Cedric. That one feels a little more vague. And then on the third tribe, the California girls, you've got basically Thomas is getting some heat, and I was actually commenting that he's getting more screen time. Oh, we're back. Or Camilla, yeah. Yes, there was a challenge. Next prediction, who comes in first? Is it going to be purple, orange, green? That is the prediction. Have at it. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be green or purple that loses. That's how I'm feeling. I feel like orange is a little too vague in their setup. Which sucks because that's orange would be great if they lost because I have no draft team on there. But if it has to be between purple and green, I think I have to hope green loses because I think Shaheen's a lot safer than Star and Charity. But on the other hand, Shaheen is my best hope for a winner. So I don't want to put him in danger. All right, here we go. That's what Jeff just said. Lots of different systems. You've got the teamwork, you've got the struggling, and you've got the David. Let's go green. And purple. This is going great so far. Let's just keep it like this the whole way through, and we'll be in a great place. Maybe it's vague because they do go to tribal and they didn't want to telegraph what was going to happen. They're rolling it on the corner and it's digging into the ground. Come on, Shaheen. Oh, without knocking it over is fun. I like that. That's a fun little twist on this challenge. No, Mitch. No, Mitch. No. Damn it. I knew it was too good to be true. All right, Shaheen's through. Oh, this is looking bad for Star and Charity. I think I might be losing a draft. I just don't see any scenario where it's not one of those two if this tribe loses. Ooh. I mean, green back in the lead, I like. Listen, you feel free to disagree with me. I'm purely draft oriented with my rooting. I like that they're focusing on Camilla calling the shots on the puzzle. Like they're going to use that in a segment. This is really anyone's game, I think. There's not a lot of progress made on the puzzle. It's the kind of thing where you could like have it set up and it's just wrong, I think. And then you have to sort of start over. No, that's not it. It's not it. It's not right. That's actually very bad for them. They might need to completely like it's I think it's harder to reevaluate from a state of like half wrong than it is to start from scratch. All right. I think purple's good. Looks right. All right. Okay. All right. Star and Charity safe. But is green gonna go, or can I really have my cake and eat it too here? It looks like they've solved it. No, that's not right. That's not right. It shouldn't go like that. No. Oh, come on. Come on. All right. All right, Shaheen. First tribal. So purple came in first. It's the second best scenario for me, I think. I think worst case scenario would have been purple tribe. It doesn't feel to me like Shaheen would be the boot here. Not impossible though. Sorry for you. Well, thank you for the 17th in a row. Okay. I think looking at this objectively, not Jeff in his trick shot era. Okay. I feel like that whole segment, the setting up of Joe. Sito, thank you for the 45th in a row. The cover, the whole segment on Joe, to me feels like setting up an alternative scenario, because this was actually should have been on paper the least interesting tribe to go to tribal, because there's a majority that is already in an alliance together against a minority. So in order to make this episode interesting, they needed to like drum up this thing about like, oh, Thomas lied, and you know, look at how well the trick is working. We're tricking them into thinking we're not together, and we have an idol, and we have an extra vote. Like, look at all these ways that like something can go wrong for the majority, the obvious result, but then I would assume the obvious result still happens, because there genuinely are some outcomes here, but most of them include needing the idol to hit the right person, which, to be fair, is a 50-50 shot. So, I mean, all else failing, you could literally just have Kyle playing idol, cast a vote, Camilla use her shot in the dark, and just hope, you know? The extra vote shouldn't matter. Let's see. We got to do a prediction. Does Thomas admit to his steal a vote? Does Thomas admit to having his steal a vote? That is the prediction. In the next segment, does he tell anyone about his steal a vote? Oh, plus the idol. That's actually a good point by David in the YouTube chat. Oh, we're back. An idol played plus a tie via the extra vote could force a rock draw where both of them are invulnerable. This is actually what I was going to say, JC, was that Camilla exposing Thomas's lie should have backfired because it should have just led to Thomas admitting to it, and now they can openly use the advantage. Yeah, I don't like Shaheen being confident. That's always a bad sign in the edit. I mean, I've said this a bunch. Maintaining secrecy with your close allies, hugely important. They are kind of editing this like it's Operation Italy or whatever it is. No, Thomas. They're doing the thing. This could be really bad for Shaheen, guys. This could be really bad for Shaheen. Because if they put votes on Thomas, I don't even know how extra votes work and revotes, to be honest. It's so confusing. Oh no. Thomas should be doing this. Shaheen feels too bad. He's not doing a thorough search because he feels too bad. I don't think they're going to find it. Oh, man, they're just showing Shaheen be wrong over and over. No. Oof. If Shaheen goes here, I think that's I think I'm out of the draft, to be honest. It feels like they have done a lot to protect Joe here. Joe has been like they're heaping a lot of the bad reads on Shaheen. They're heaping a lot of the bad decisions on Thomas and leaving Joe to look like clean from all of it. So I think, quite frankly, even if Shaheen stays, I don't think it's great. Thomas does not admit to his steal a vote. All right. What should the prediction be? Does Thomas play his steal a vote? Oh, we could just ask who goes out. We'll do this. We'll do this. If you're spoiler averse, be wary of the results, but it's been good so far. Nelly, thank you for the 10th. So yeah, the biggest question right now is, can you use your extra vote in a revote? because I don't remember. I feel like I've assumed you can in the past and then I've been told that I was wrong. In 41, Shan used it in a revote. Steven did in second chance. Okay. Okay. Given that you can play it in a revote, there are different ways you can go about this. You can place the votes. Right. Okay. So the idea is it's a multi-layered plan. Kyle plays the idol on himself. If the votes come onto Kyle, then Kyle plus the extra vote plus Camilla all vote out Thomas or Shaheen. That person leaves. If they're wrong and they actually went for Camilla, Kyle still plays the idol. 3 votes go to Camilla, 3 votes go to Thomas or Shaheen. On the revote, it would, if the vote carries over, still be 2-2, forcing a tie where Camilla and Kyle and one of Thomas or Shaheen, whichever one of them they place votes are safe, and the rock draw happens between the other 2 people. Great plan, great use of advantages. This is, I assume, what you would qualify as dynamic power. Now, the thing is, in the event that they're forced with a rock draw, they're forced to a rock draw, you would assume that one of them flips at least. That basically they, I would assume, recognize that they can't bypass the scenario that they're in, that Camilla and Kyle will be safe and that they will end up having to rock draw between each other, between themselves, and thus they'll flip their vote to vote out either Shaheen or Thomas, whoever the votes are on. All right, we're back. The weird thing to me is that, like, this feels so obvious that this is going to work now. Like, at the beginning of the segment previously, I was like, this feels like it's just bluster to make us feel like the obvious thing is not going to happen. Now this feels like the very obvious thing. Wouldn't it be better to hold on to the extra vote and control the vote next time? Ideally. But if you're wrong and you lose your ally, then you're out anyway, and the extra vote is useless. I'd rather go into the next tribal guaranteed 2-2 than risk going in 3-1 in the hopes that I can be 3-2. I gotta say though, like, I do think they're doing a great job of hiding their bond. I really do. They've played it really well, like very subtle. He's even like giving his "this is my final episode" monologue. Which, to be fair, like, they may genuinely be feeling that. Because they are theoretically in danger. But if their plan works the way I think it works, then they're actually not. Probably. Well, the steal a vote could actually ruin things, but of course Thomas refuses to admit to it. All right, we're starting to drag here. Okay, now we're giving Thomas his "this is my last episode" monologue. I don't think it's Shaheen, but it definitely could be. It feels more like Thomas, but it's basically got to be one of them as far as I'm concerned. It would have to be a massive fumble by Camilla and Kyle for it not to be one of Thomas or Shaheen. And the way they've been edited this episode just doesn't, to me, imply that they fumbled. Wait, why are we showing Shaheen vote Kyle? I feel like that's again just showing us exactly what's gonna happen. All right, I'm not looking at chat. They're almost psyching me out of the obvious by making it so obvious, but I'm probably just overthinking it. I mean, I guess the what's happening is that the real the 10 spit of the episode left is which one of Shaheen or Thomas did they vote out. I don't love that they showed Shaheen's vote for Kyle. It implies that it would be him. Oh boy, come on. All right, next vote is it. Show me Thomas. Yes! Oh! Oh boy. Oh, I was nervous. I do think you need to really like place a lot of blame on Thomas there because that shouldn't have happened. He should have just told them about his steal a vote. They should have used the steal a vote to split this vote. And that still might not have worked because of the extra vote, and I don't know how the revotes would work. Oh yeah, well, I guess we don't even know if they played the extra vote. Because if they didn't play the extra vote, then straight up, if he uses the steal a vote, he survives. If they did use the extra vote, then theoretically, I think that it might not have worked. But it definitely could have, and it definitely would have given them a lot more options. If they didn't use the extra vote, Shaheen is screwed. Because that means they took a huge gamble and it would pay off because now they have the majority in the next vote. I mean, I will say I would 1000% use the extra vote there. Just to guarantee. In the same way that I would have used the steal a vote if I were Thomas. I do not like I don't think players recognize how dangerous a position they're in scenarios like that. Especially Modern Survivor, the new era. Like if your vote margin is 3-2, you need to do everything in your power to bolster that as much as possible. In a new scenario, in a new environment, like new players, you just met them, there's a lot of uncertainty there, and you should not be playing risky in those spots. You can play riskier once you have like figured out the dynamic and you are in a more comfortable position, in my opinion. Hold on, hold on. What'd you think, Kellis? What'd you think? Should you play the steal a vote? Should you play the steal a kitten? Hold on, I gotta be able to hear it. Oh, I still can't hear it. Hold on. He did watch Flow. They did not play the extra vote, so if he had used the steal a vote and they had split the votes, they would have won.
I'm okay with the unknown. This has profoundly changed my life, and I'm deeply grateful for it.
And it also means that Shaheen is in some deep trouble if they go to tribal again, which I do not love. I shouldn't be muted. I don't think I'm muted. Okay. Now, the bright side of this is that I do still think they have a strong challenge team. So there's, I think, a decent chance they don't go to tribal again. And that could help Shaheen, obviously. I feel like setting up the California girls and then having two of them go out pre-merge. And I just feel like Shaheen's edit definitely took a hit here, but still feels like he's a long-term character. I could be wrong. I think that's really, like, this was the spot for Shaheen to go if he was going to go, in my opinion. Thomas definitely had an edit where it, like, made sense to me that he took a hit here. Whereas Shaheen's would have been a shock. But, like, now that he's experienced this, it feels like they're not going to just send him right out right after. But, you know, I could be wrong. Shaheen's edit could be about, yeah, getting redemption, playing smarter. I'm also thinking about, like, we talked about, like, Project Italy or whatever it was, Operation Italy. I mean, Operation Italy functioned in a way that made Rachel look bad, right? If I'm remembering correctly. I mean, I think they probably protected Rachel more than they protected Shaheen here. But, like, I'm pretty sure they showed Rachel falling for it, no? Or no, was she actually the one that didn't fall for it? Did they fully protect her? I think that might have been what happened, actually. They showed her being skeptical. Okay, yeah, all right. So not great. Not great for Shaheen. Oh, kitten. I just want to reiterate though, like, well played by Kyle and Camilla. I think you could make the argument that them pretending to not get along was not necessary to this plan. That ultimately all they did was play an idol, right? And I think that's a very valid thing to say because it's theoretically true. But I think there are so many hidden benefits to pretending that you're not working together successfully that are less tangible, but potentially super important. Like, the California girls are going to feel a lot more comfortable placing 3 votes on one of them if they feel like, well, hey, we have them, like, they weren't thinking this is a 3-2 vote. They were thinking this is a 4-1 vote. They weren't thinking like, oh, they're plotting together to use the idol on the person that we're actually going to vote out. You know, they were thinking these two aren't working together. We have the majority. We have them exactly where we want them. It just made them feel more comfortable, more in control, which, like, allowed them, like, gave them an opportunity to make more mistakes, which is just super important. It's the same thing that I talk about with Dan's funeral in Big Brother, is that a lot of people say like, oh, well, the funeral aspect of this wasn't necessary. All he really did was convince Frank up in the HOH room. But like, again, there are so many intangibles to that, like that you can't ignore. The environment that you create is a huge part of crafting the moves you're trying to make. They can continue to play it like they aren't close. They could try, and there's potentially some value to that, but you do have to wait. You can play the extra vote on a revote if you didn't play it initially. Sorry, I'm just reading David's chat in the YouTube. Can you play the extra vote on a revote specifically? That actually makes it more powerful. And that makes more sense as to why they didn't play the extra vote initially. Because they don't actually need to play it. Oh no, they still needed to play it initially. Because it wouldn't have tied. Yeah, because it would have been 3-2 still. So they still did need to play it initially. Anyway. What do you think, Kellis? Should we pretend that we don't get along? What do you think? What do you think? Oh yeah, I don't even who even is this kitten? I don't know. Yeah, we're both doing the same thing on purpose. We're just like looking away. All right. I mean, that was a very good episode, I thought. It was a stressful episode for me, but very good one. Great play by Camilla and Kyle. Especially again, like that was, you know, and you should say this too, though. Like, I think there is a lot of merit to the idea that advantages are too powerful. Because this was in, you know, they basically could have, they didn't end up doing it this way, but they could have forced a result purely through the advantages they had. But it did make for a more exciting episode. So like, you know, I feel like you know, you can't really have it both ways. I do think that it's a similar thing with last week's episode with Justin not having his vote. That led to a pretty exciting episode of television. So I don't know. I feel like maybe there's some leeway. There's a little bit of room to discuss advantages. Hello. All right. Well, that is Survivor for the week. I'll be back next week for the next episode. How many tribals do we think we have to go through before the merge? Because I am worried for Shaheen. In the meantime, check out our jet lag coverage. Just dropped our coverage for episode 2, which dropped on YouTube today. Episode 3 up on Nebula. We'll talk about that one soon. Wheel of Time, episode 4 coming soon as well. Heard it's a very good one. So check out our coverage for that over at We Know Scripted TV. We also are doing the Tastemakers podcast. We're talking about all the new shows. We were talking about Adolescence at the start of this podcast. A lot of people heard about it on the Tastemakers, checked it out, thought it was great. Stuff like that happens on the Tastemakers all the time. So check out the Tastemakers if you're looking for shows, or if you're looking to avoid shows because there's too many and you don't know which ones you shouldn't watch. Big Brother retrospective. For those of you that have stuck around past the episode. Oh, yes, we do have the prediction. Thomas did not play his steal a vote. I will give you a tease for tomorrow's Big Brother retrospective for Big Brother 12. I had somebody reach out to me, and they said, "Are you doing Big Brother retrospectives? Are you talking about old seasons?" And I was like, "Yeah, talking about old seasons." In fact, wouldn't you know it, talking about your season this week. And then this person said, "Oh, can I join?" And I said, "Well, yes, Brittany Haynes, you may join." So tomorrow night, tune in for Brittany to be talking about Big Brother 12. Also, the regularly scheduled guest was Peridium. So kind of an all-star cast going on tomorrow night. We should be live, 7 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, should be fun. All right, well, that is what we have for you tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed. And I think that's all I've got to plug. I'll be back this weekend with some games. And yeah, I think that's about it. Maybe some other stuff too. Who knows? All right. Thanks again for hanging out, and I will see all of you next time.